Shalom, 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 salama, salim, all of the above. Peace, favor, blessings, grace, power, authority, worship of the Most High.
Yeah, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to the channel. When you enter the chat, as you know, make sure you like the video. And we are live. We are live today.
Yep.
Talking about something that we just ran across. But before that, we want to mention to you guys how great the Most High is.
Yeah.
The Most High is amazing, as always. It's the same Most High from the ancient days until now. So just keep that in your head. Because whatever happened before is still going to happen now.
Yep.
Right? So just make sure you are truly, truly seeking the Most High so you can be prosperous and you can accept His promise.
Yeah.
And the reward of the wicked could be yours.
The reward of the wicked. Ooh, that don't sound like a reward.
Yeah.
The reward of the wicked could be yours.
Did I say that right?
What were you trying to say?
Oh man,
I didn't know which verse. You're taking me to two verses right now. You're taking me either you're talking about the wealth of the wicked is stored for the righteous,
basically,
or you're talking about the wicked that are going to reap what they sow. I didn't know which
both
one.
of them.
Okay.
Let's say both of them all together. Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, but before we get into this crazy headline, which by the way, it's breaking news right now, Israel Hamas war, something just popped off explosively. Before we get into that, we wanted to talk to you guys about how incredible the State of the Diaspora workshop has been. And I'm so glad we were obedient to the call.
Yes.
Where the Most High just sends this thought into our brains of, hey, why don't you just do this workshop for 7 days so you can help the people who are serious, entrepreneurs, people that already have my spirit, they're already called, they've been receiving visions before they even met you or came across your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so
shalom, family. Shalom, welcome, guys.
And spirit, and give them the tools and the access they need to be profitable abroad, to live their best life abroad, to come out of the north, to come out of these nations, the Western nations that currently rule the world, but the world is shifting and it's chaotic. And, you know, whenever you back a snake into the corner, it's going to rattle. Like, y'all know rattlesnakes, like they're going to rattle if you try to back them in the corner. And that's what's happening in the West right now, specifically America, but also Great Britain. That's what's happening. The snake is rattling. I don't know if y'all saw the Trump people,
Yeah, shalom,
since his
family,
indictment. They have been taken to the streets protesting. The white folks, I think black folks have been doing it too, but the video I saw, this old guy, he kind of looks like Trump's twin. And he's like, he's an innocent man. And I was just like, these people are going insane. And if you think that by January 2025, that it won't be absolute chaos in America, I don't know what planet you're on, because it's already going to be absolute chaos. So it's time to really look at things, really discern, get under the shadow of the Most High, get to yourself too, because this is not a popular message. In Noah's day, it wasn't popular either. It wasn't popular for him to be building an ark when nobody had ever seen rain before. That's not a popular message. That's like, huh? You must be insane. Go where? Yes, come out. Go to Africa. Africa's the last frontier, because the end must come back to the beginning. If you just understand that one principle of the great I am, that whatever happened before is going to happen again, and there's no new thing under the sun, it would only make logical sense. Let me go back to the origin where it all started, because there's going to be a safe haven there, because the Most High is not schizophrenic. He's not going to utterly destroy the Garden of Eden. He's just not going to do it, because he's a keeper of his word. But the other nations, oh, absolutely. He's going to have a field day. And he's already having a field day with them, because they're walking right now in confusion, as you guys are going to see by this article, this breaking news, NBC. Do you want to say anything about Save the Diaspora before I get into the article?
Yeah, man, all praises, like, and that's what we try to teach people. That's what we try to, preach to people. Like, if you really following the Most High, like, the skills and talents that He bless you with, if you really obedient to that, you can really kind of do anything that he's leading you to, and he's going to bless it. Because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the thought came up in our head, and we just did it.
Yeah, we didn't doubt. We just did it.
Yeah,
We're at the point now we hear the Most High's voice. We're not going to doubt. We're just
and
going to
and
run with it, see what
and
happens.
and the Most High rewarded it. He said, "Okay, you're being obedient. Let me get the right people
Yeah.
for sure
Yeah.
to join this, so they can prosper." And yeah, it's just been a blessing just meeting new people, just seeing where their journey is going to take them.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a great journey. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if the right people that's serious and really want to do this, it's going to be a blessing,
Yep.
no matter what.
Getting their
So
finances situated, their
this,
businesses, knowing how to operate on the ground, real estate. And people are coming to different regions in Africa as the Most High calls them and leads them out. Some go to Ghana, some go to Southern Africa, some go to
hmm
Tanzania, some go to Kenya, and it's just such a beautiful thing. But also, we did have one other topic before I get into the article. Benin has announced that they are doing citizenship for the African diaspora. Okay. And so we have all of these different things happening at the same time.
well, me, I haven't really looked at that. I saw it, but I didn't like really look at it. Like with stuff like that, you know me, I don't like to talk about it until it's like
Yeah, they're
very
writing
like,
their
yeah.
legislation,
We
similar
got to
to
see.
Sierra Leone
We got to see about that.
and Ghana.
But guys, make sure you like the video. If you're in here, um, we greatly appreciate it. So, State of Diaspora was awesome. I'm glad that everybody is really like enjoying it. Somebody said, "Man, the information that you guys provided was great. It's very helpful. I finished it." I was like, "Whoa, you finished it? You only had it for a day, a day or two."
These are focused people. Look, the people in the
Yeah,
group, they're focused,
yeah. So, yeah.
diligent. They have a spirit of excellence about them.
But yeah,
That
that's
spirit of, I'm going to get this done.
that's exactly how you got to be now. Like you get something, you finish it.
Yeah. Like do it to the best of your ability and see it through. Don't just back out midway through. You can't
hmm
just like a woman in labor. A woman's not going to get to labor and just back out midway through because you can't. You
Yeah,
need to look at
you
everything you
can't be
do
like,
like that.
I want to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that's what I was calling out by Most High's like, well, you got to finish this
You
through.
gotta finish it. Like,
You
man, we
look,
can't
I'm
do
going to see you through. I'm like, can I pause? Like,
we gotta go.
time
Like, man,
out. But
you
you
gotta
can't do
finish
that.
it.
You got to finish it through. You got to go all the way through. And business is the same way. You don't get in business and then in 3 years you're like, oh my gosh, I give up. If you already act like that and what you do in America, you're going to be like that in Africa, straight up. So you better
Yeah,
get a spirit of excellence about you and finish through.
yeah,
You
mindset.
better finish the race.
Yeah,
You're not going to run a race in track. We both did track. You're not going to run a race and get to the middle and say, oh, I'm going to walk now.
a couple people do though. I saw that happen.
That's not wise.
Yeah.
You won't be getting nowhere like that. You have to finish when you start. Entrepreneurship, whatever it is you do. And I think this is why we made the separation in the state of the diaspora, that we only want people that are serious. If you're double-minded, you will produce the fruits of being double-minded. And then that's going to be your reward in Africa. And then you're going to look at everybody and say, oh my gosh, Africa is the most horrible place. What? You laughing at me every minute.
Because you funny.
I'm trying to look. I'm a storyteller. You got to be engaging.
I see.
For real, that people look. You looking like, and then you ask these people what happened, and it's like, oh well, I didn't like the food. You didn't like the food. Oh, well, I couldn't just figure out. I didn't listen to you and open a SoFi account, or I didn't. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how to help you because we already helped you from the beginning since 2020, 2019 really was when we made our first video. And so if you're diligent about a thing, you're going to research it. And this is biblical in the book of Proverbs, okay? A spirit of excellence, a spirit of diligence in everything you do. Actually finish. Even in the book of Matthew, there's a parable that talks about why would somebody build a building and not count the cost to see if they have enough to make it all the way through? That's not just about resources. Do you have the mental fortitude to make it all the way through? Do you have the spiritual discernment and fortitude to endure to the end?
Mm-hmm.
Endure to the end isn't just salvation, it's everything. And
Everything that you do, yeah.
If you can't do that in the physical right now, how much more will you not be able to do it for salvation?
Really. So you gotta practice. Like that's what it says. The whoever endures to the end will be saved.
Yeah.
So if you practice that at everything that you do, like literally everything that you do, I'm telling you, it's just practice. You will have that mindset of enduring to the end and finishing anything that you start.
Yeah, you have to be a finisher. You got to execute. Decision makers only. So, unfortunately, the State of the Diaspora is closed. You guys will not be able to sign up again until we release the next one. So, you do want to subscribe. You do want to like the video. You do want to share it, save it, all of those things. Hit the bell notification so that you'll be alerted when we open it back up, because it is an incubated setting, only serving 5 entrepreneurs. That's it. Because we have to be intentional about the people that we work with, so that these people can also be intentional about how they're building their businesses and transferring them to Africa, how they're investing, how they're moving their legacy, their family, and what their network is going to look like across the continent.
Exactly.
So let's get into the news article.
And just real quick, with you saying that, like your mindset should be 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead now.
Good point.
Because
Good point.
Well, we've been together 10 years.
Yeah.
Like we just looking at some pictures beautiful. Of our oldest son Jeremiah when he was like 2.
Yeah.
Now he's 12, and it's like, man, that it really does not feel like 10 years.
It's crazy.
But 10 years, it goes so fast.
It does. It really does.
And you see time is speeding up. Like
It
every week, like last week went so fast. So each week is something more crazier and crazier. And then just all the distractions and stuff. So I say to you guys that's watching, make sure you look at 5 years ahead at least.
Yeah, that's the mindset you have to have.
So you can understand what the world's going to look like in 5 years. Because next year is going to be crazy if you think about it. 2 years from now is going to be crazy because they talking a lot of stuff. But 5, 10 years, when you're thinking about investing, when you're thinking about the next generation and stuff, you really got to think like that.
Yeah, you do. That's the only way to think. That's the only way to plan.
Go ahead.
So, NBC News breaking news. Israel describes a permanent ceasefire in Gaza as a non-starter, undermining Biden's proposal. So apparently last week, Biden submitted a proposal based on the week before we did a news, I don't want to say news flash, a news video about how the ICC, the International Criminal Committee, and the UN said that it's illegal for the genocide to be happening in Gaza right now, okay? Against those people who are bombing and basically trying to obliterate these people from the face of the earth. And so they said it's illegal. It needs to stop. By the way, remember the South African president was the one who submitted the bid to say, hey, this is illegal. This is genocide. And they accepted. Okay, so that's the backstory.
Make sure you like the video, guys.
Now, Israel describes the ceasefire in Gaza as a non-starter, undermining Biden's proposal. This statement comes directly from Netanyahu's office yesterday. So they're supposed to be having the Sabbath, and he's thinking, how can we just kill more people? This is his mindset, and it just tells you. It tells you right there.
That's a good point. I even think about that.
It just came to me like
that's
a mindset on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
How can we kill more innocent people? Because what's going to happen if this doesn't stop? Obviously, they're going to continue to destabilize that region. This is why this is so important. So, Netanyahu's office himself says this. Tel Aviv, the prime minister on Saturday, called the ceasefire non-starter until long-standing conditions for ending the war are met, appearing to undermine the proposal that President Biden had announced as an Israeli one. The statement from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office came a day after the plan, and as families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas called for all parties to immediately accept the proposal. A major demonstration in Israel on Saturday night urged the government to act now. And the joint statement by mediators, the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar, pressed Israel and Hamas, saying the proposed deal offers a roadmap for a permanent ceasefire, ending the crisis and giving immediate relief to both hostages and the Gaza residents. So they're like, y'all taking it a little too far. Let's pull it back. The nations are saying to the Middle East and these countries that are at each other, let's pull it back. But Netanyahu said that the conditions for ending the war have not changed. And I just have a quick question. I got a real quick question. What are the conditions for ending the war? And if I'm looking back on history and these people's history, thinking about King Leopold of Belgium, I'm thinking the conditions for ending the war is until everybody is gone. I think that's his conditions that he's talking about, but I don't know. I don't know, so I'm gonna keep reading it. The destruction of Hamas's military and governing capabilities, the freeing of all hostages, and ensuring that Gaza no longer poses a threat to Israel. What does that even mean? So they pose a threat by existing beside them. This is the mindset of white supremacy. This is the mindset of I'm going to exterminate everybody on the face of the world. That's the mindset of the actual devil himself.
Yeah. It's getting, man, it's so real, y'all. Like, if you really think about it, that's why I'm like stuck. I'm listening to this like, wow, this is like, it's really happening right in our face in real life. It's not no movie or anything, but this is really happening right now.
It gets crazier, okay? Look, Biden on Friday asserted he's asserting to the Middle East, you know what country we're talking about in the Middle East, and saying that Hamas is no longer capable of carrying out a large scale attack on Israel like the one by the militant group in October that started the war. He urged Israel and Hamas to reach an agreement to release 100 hostages, along with the bodies of 30 more for an extended ceasefire. Ceasefire talks halted last month after a push by the U.S. and other mediators to secure a deal in hopes of averting a full-scale Israeli invasion of Gaza's southern city of Rafah. Israel says the Rafah operation is key to uprooting Hamas fighters responsible for the October 7th attack. Israel on Friday confirmed its troops were operating in central parts of the city. The ground assault has led to 1 million Palestinians to leave Rafah and thrown humanitarian operations into turmoil. The World Food Program has called living conditions horrific and apocalyptic as hunger grows. So that's the latest news on that. They're like, we're not going to stop until they're completely obsolete. And this is the issue when you don't stop white supremacy at the root.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody just looks as it happens to African people, but now everybody's like, oh no, stop it at the root. And it's like, yeah, these nations of the earth have let these people go on and do this treachery for thousands of years. Nobody bats an eye. And now it's getting worse. And now you're seeing that Joel 3 phenomena of the Most High sending confusion into the valley of Jehoshaphat and pleading for his people, where he has to come and act and say, okay, now I'm going to lay this right. Now I'm going to set this foundation correctly because none of you is able to judge righteously. Nobody cares for right ruling. Nobody cares that there's a war in Sudan, a war in Congo, and these things have been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. Nobody cared that, King Leopold of Belgium, but now it's all eyes on the Middle East. And now they want Africans to go and fight the battle. They want Africans on the African side to go to Israel and go farm and be modern day slaves. And then on the American side, they want us Africans to go and be in America and be on the front of the war, because they're trying to pull people in. They want you to be on the front of the war, and it's just utterly ridiculous. And so
Yeah, it's just gonna get crazier and crazier. But this is really happening, right? It's like really blowing my mind. Like, wow, he said no, we ain't. We really gonna kill everybody.
yeah,
That's like, wow.
that is their mindset. This is why you have to be able to follow patterns and identify them, guys.
Let us know what you guys think about that. This guy said no. We not stopping till everybody is gone.
And this isn't a new thing. If you look at history, this isn't a new idea.
Yeah,
The Romans were like this. The Greeks were like this.
history repeats itself, like literally, like really.
The Genesis 10 Kanaz people have always been like this, but for some reason we're like, oh, maybe stuff changed. Let's be realistic, because this is crazy. Now, on top of this, now you have the confusion in America where Trump has just been convicted, and that's interesting. So that's why we put on the video. They're lying to Americans. They're not going to tell you that war is about to pop off to the next level until it happens. They're not about to tell you that there's going to be a huge civil unrest that's already taking place now because Trump has been convicted. And so you can only imagine what America looks like in 2025 and 2026.
Yeah.
What do you think that looks like?
Confused. I don't know. Everything, like right now, when I talk about distractions, when I say distractions, all this is a distraction of what's really going on, like spiritually, um, with the things that's supposed to happen, that's supposed to be prophesied. But everything is a distraction. I'm not saying the war and stuff like that, just like stuff that's in America, like Trump and stuff like that. Okay, if you really pay attention to that, but you're not paying attention to the prophecy that's really unfolding right in front of us, you're gonna be left behind. You're gonna be stuck in a land that's about to be destroyed.
Oh, who's about to be destroyed by?
Hmm. The Most High. I say Most High.
Yeah, his battle warfare weapons, as he's calling it out, is going to be Russia and China.
Yeah.
It's written in Second Esdras. Feel free to check it out. He says Asia is going to destroy Babylon, and that's how it's written. Check it out. 2 Esdras. Just read the whole book. It's a great book.
Yeah, and I think Russia just said like they're gonna come at America. I'm not sure. I don't want to talk
Oh,
about it
that
if
was a
I don't know all the information, but I guess the U.S. Agreed to let Ukraine use their weapons to attack Russia. So Russia is standing up and saying, "Hey, we're no. If you do that, we're gonna attack you." And our last live, talking about how Russia's going to supposedly do a landmark attack on America, and then it's just a lot going on.
It's too much. You can't even keep up with it.
It's
You
really a
really
lot
cannot
going
even
on.
keep up. It's confused. But you know what I believe is happening that we see in the physical is a representation of what's happening in the spiritual because we know according to the Bible that all nations on earth were giving an angel to watch over them,
Mm,
except Yasharal, the Most High's elect chosen seed.
mm,
Now, Yahuwah himself wanted to watch over us. But all these nations that were given an angel, so these angels and messengers, they're fighting in the heavenlies. And so this is why you have the physical manifestation of wars and rumors of wars. It's just you're seeing what's happening in the physical, and this is happening in the spirit realm.
yeah,
And so this is why you need to be on the right side, physically and spiritually.
yeah. Because spiritually is always first. Like I'm pretty sure you guys know that. So like when it's like spirit happens and then it comes down to the physical. So all this that's happening right now in the physical, man, you gotta be in tune with the spiritual to see what's gonna happen next in the physical, and we see it. That's why we right here because it's best to find a little secret place that the Most High got for you, and really just survive and live your best life, like for real.
Yeah. Because this by 2025, I don't this by 2025 the world's going to take a massive shift. And that world meaning the Western world, it's not going to look how it has looked in the past. We believe it's another one of those 2019 years. If you can imagine that we're in 2019 right now, going back knowing everything that we know, you could look back
I
because hindsight is 2020. You could look back and see what's going to happen. I believe 2024 is that 2019 year when you're going into 2025 seeing a shift in America and the West. The reason we say that is because even looking back at the pandemic in Africa, it did not hit the way it hit the Western world. Okay?
mm,
It didn't hit. And if you haven't looked into this, you may want to look into it. Those who say, oh, well, everywhere's like America, everything, da, da, da. But look into it. Do your research. Because in Africa, folks wasn't dropping dead. Folks wasn't catching COVID. Folks were on the bus. In Tanzania, they have these things called dollar dollars. People are side by side. Now, if there's an actual virus going on, that's actually hurting people, that would not have been a good thing because a lot of people would have been sick. And it was the
Hmm.
exact opposite.
Yeah.
Africa is the most least vaccinated country.
I'm telling you, guys, man, this sun is beautiful. This sun is healing.
It is.
So just everything that they doing in the sky over there, you don't see it over here. So you can actually get a natural healing
Yeah.
from grounding and just being in the sun.
Yeah, just being a human, like
Yeah,
literally just being a human. It's okay to just be a human. In America, it's not okay because they want you to work in the office 40 to 60 hours a
it's
week.
exactly. You just they taking away all your energy. Like it's crazy.
They really do because they got to harvest that energy. All that depression, all that anxiety. Then people go home, they strung out on drugs, they on alcohol, they on this, they on that. They're on meds, anxiety meds. And when you come to Africa, it's not common to see, oh, I have to go get my anxiety meds. Like if we ever met an African, it's like, oh, I got to go Monday to get my anxiety medication.
Mm-mm.
You just don't have that because the society isn't work, 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 capitalism, capitalism, capitalism. Go serve the white man. If you're not serving the white man, then you're nothing, right? That's the whole ideal in America. And then for the children in Generation Z is seeing this now. These 18 to 23-year-olds are seeing, man, this society hates us, and they're depressed. They're these young white children, black children as well, coming out of college. They're saying, man, what am I doing wrong? The older generation figured it out, but the younger generation can't figure it out. Why is that? It's not because the younger generation is lazy. It's not. It's because you have an issue where you have this extreme debt, and so inflation is going up, 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 extreme debt, up, 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 and yet college students are in more debt than ever before, but they're getting paid $10 an hour. And then you, what? How much is a piece of meat in America? Like probably $30, not what it was back in 2019. And so these
Mm-mm.
college students, not only can they not find jobs, they can't find work, the bills are popping up crazy, and then on top of that, they don't have financial education because financial America's financial system is a hot mess, and they try to keep these secrets from certain people so that they can just be trapped in debt forever because America is a debt run society. And so you have
That
the older generation that's live with their parents, the
that
younger
that
generation.
that just made me think about America. I say America, Hasatan, the adversary, right? The devil, right? He want to be like the Most High.
Okay.
And when you think about it, the Most High wants to mold you, right? And that's basically what he's doing to people, generation
Mm,
after generation. Because before this generation, the I mean, everybody see it. Everybody say back in the what 1960s and stuff, man was man, you know.
sure, sure,
And now
sure.
it's a molding. Each generation got molded to how America wants it. So
Ooh, that's
it's just
horrible.
like you really gotta let the Most High mold you,
Mm, that's
because
good.
if not, you just gonna be molded how America wants you to.
Ooh, that's good. Made in the image of America, the Statue of Liberty, huh?
Yeah,
Molded in that
and you
image.
really gotta fight it, man. Like it's not easy, but that it's always a choice. Like we always say, calm down, calm down.
I don't like big bees, y'all. That's the thing about being in Africa. You're gonna see some big bees.
Yeah, but
Pussy.
the Most High really is that's what He wants to mold you. You are clay. He wants to mold you until you're refined, right? You gotta be put in the fire and stuff, and you don't want to be in the fire in America.
No,
I mean, I
the
know some
chemical
people
fire.
believe, okay, the Most High, of course, He's gonna take care of you wherever you are, but it's
Absolutely,
just a
100%.
it's just different when you here in Africa. It's just different, and the only people that can really understand that is the people that really came to Africa and lived here. It doesn't matter if they went back; they understand what I'm saying right now.
And they're trying to come back. People have
Yeah,
called us saying, we're ready to come back. We're
it's
getting tired
different.
of it here. It's
It's different.
different. It's worse than 2019.
Yeah, and even then, like
Mm.
you were saying, 2019, how they was kind of like letting people know what's going to happen. I think they're going to let people know, but it's gonna be so in their face where they can't do nothing
They,
because already they're telling Americans to stay out of certain countries.
oh, good one. Yes.
Like already.
Certain West African countries. But in 2019, what they say? Stay out of Tanzania. We was like, actually, no, we're gonna go.
Exactly. So they're letting people know like before something's about to happen.
Yeah.
But it's just a choice of people that's going to be like, nah, I'm just going to stay here and get molded by America.
Get molded by America. Oh man. Yeah, because this next phase,
It's
it's not
crazy.
looking too good.
It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about. Just don't be don't be stupid.
Don't be fear. Yeah, Jeremiah 4. Don't be stupid for real. That may sound like,
Don't let
ooh, that's
fear
harsh.
don't let fear make you stupid. Don't let fear paralyze you and make you
Yeah.
stay somewhere that's not going to really benefit you in the long run.
Yeah. In the long run. That's it.
Like really.
People, we get so used to American convenience and gratification. And it's the same thing with Greek culture that I learned when I was studying world religions and understanding how lustful and just like convenience oriented Greece was. America's the same way, built by that same system. And that's Babylon. It's just, oh, be fuzzy and comfy all the like, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's more than okay. That's where growth happens. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you're not going to grow. I can guarantee it.
I'm telling you that's what you have to do. You got to jump out your comfort zone, be uncomfortable, because that's what I'm telling you. We speaking it. We're living it. When America said stay out Tanzania and we went and we walked it.
Yeah.
We wasn't talking it.
Yeah.
We walked
on
it.
The plane left.
We walked it
by the grace of the Most High.
And man, 4 years later, Most High he's amazing.
So glad we listened.
Like for real.
I can't imagine if we didn't listen.
Because that, I mean, this is what we're just trying to tell people. Like, man, y'all really gotta. We just trying to warn you.
Yeah.
Look, if I had my show for right now, I'd be blowing for y'all.
Seriously,
blowing
it's that time
all day. Every live, I'd probably be blowing every time you say something good.
It's that time. This
like really.
In the spirit, that's what's happening, and he's sending his people forth. He's even sent people that are in America to tell you, hey, things are about to change. Like he will always tell you what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
But if you're paralyzed by fear and frozen, read Jeremiah 4. Like it doesn't end up well. It doesn't end up well when you have the idol of America in your heart, but don't want to admit it. How many of us truly idolize America? One of the simple signs and signals is that you're not even willing to look at Africa. You're like, oh, somebody mentioned Africa. You're like, nope, I was born here. Nope, nope, nope. When all the people are melanated, look just like you, they look like your cousins. This was the start of humanity, but you're like, nope, not going to do it.
Yeah. Make sure you like the video, family. We greatly appreciate likes.
Yeah, it's not even about, idolizing the white man. Like, y'all really have to look in your hearts and see, do I idolize America? And then if you do, why do you idolize such a wicked thing? Yeah. Why? And why do you want to idolize the devil?
They're really telling you who they are. They like, it's crazy.
But they've been told you. You didn't even need all this war stuff to be happening. You could have looked at your history and just seen it. You just could look at the slave trade and seen it. You just could look at how America was formed and seen it. We're in the age of information. There's not much room for excuses at this rate. But the excuses will, oh, I get paid well in America and the white man is next door and I just moved into a white neighborhood, so I'm good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if you can make $2,000 online, if you can make that in America by traveling, I'm telling you, you'll be good. Just have a little bit of savings and make that every month. I'm telling you, you'll be good. You'll be good.
Live on 50% of your income or less. Stop being so consumerist.
Because I really can't imagine how people surviving over there.
Like they're paying, not. Like they're not surviving.
Paying what they have to pay, rent, groceries,
don't
car
forget
payment, taxes, triple taxes.
Yeah.
Get it out your paycheck. You gotta pay it at the store. You got It's a lot.
They're not surviving. They're in, or let me put it like this, they're not thriving. They're in survival mode. So that's why people are always so anxious versus you experience Africa and you're like, everybody's smiling. Everybody's just like, no worries, no worries. America, it's so tense. Like you walk down the street, you don't know what's about to happen. Out in Africa, you walk down the street, everybody's smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Tanzania, Kenya, I'm pretty sure it's the same in South Africa from what I've been hearing. Same in Ghana from what we've been hearing. You walk down the street, people are happy. They're just living life. They're not worried all the time. They don't have to worry about all the LGBT folks. They don't have to worry about the trans people. They don't have to worry about any of that. They have organic food. That's number one right there. If by that alone, the food, you see a lot of mental illness happening as well. Just by the food, which by the way is made of like wax, hormones, pesticides. You got all types of things happening. And so people keep springing up with cancer in their early 30s. And you have to question at some point, why is that happening? Like that shouldn't,
Yeah.
People shouldn't have cancer in their 30s. What's happening?
And they like it's crazy because when you call out sin and you get in trouble, you get stoned for it now.
In a minute. Oh my gosh, you might be put in jail these days.
Like really, like you can't even say, hey, that's not right. You
Sodom and Gomorrah.
you might go to jail. You might even worse.
Men wanting to use women's bathrooms, wanting to go in the bathrooms with the children. Like I cannot. Ask me if this is exact. Never in life. Absolutely 100% not. Never. Not doing it. Why would I want to go back to Sodom and Gomorrah? Why?
It's crazy to think about, y'all.
Absolutely not.
And we're just trying to make y'all think and understand. Hey, in 5 years, I'm gonna keep saying it. 5 years, how is everything gonna look?
2029.
And you have to be prepared. You can't just. It's not gonna be like that. And I'm just saying it because we lived it. This is 4 years in Africa.
Yeah, in August.
Yeah, I think you really need at least a year, 2 years to be on the ground to really get stuff together. Like really. And I'm not trying to put fear in nobody, but I'm just trying to get people over here because the longer you wait, you might be stuck. Like really. They might shut down the airports and everything.
I mean, in times of war, they'd have to. Isn't that what happens in times of war? If you're in the middle of a war, I don't think anybody's going to be flying out the way they want. Somebody said, I'm leaving by summer 2025. Absolutely. But we're seeing over and over, and this is not fear mongering. If you think it's fear mongering, please try and pray for some understanding. Because when you have these news stations saying, hello, we are as close to World War III as we have ever been, we're as close to nuclear warfare. By the way, if y'all have not looked into what happens in nuclear war, you may want to do that because we have these folks that are in power that just one button, you got these hypersonic missiles, you got these nukes going off. You got these hot-headed people that if things don't go their way, they want the entire world to be gone. But it's crazy because it's written.
Yeah.
The 2/3 of the world has to die.
It's written.
Get in Revelations, y'all. Like what y'all doing right? Why y'all not in Revelations? That's my question.
It is written.
Why are people not actually seeing the practicality of Revelations that is literally telling you, leave Babylon so that you do not partake of her sins? This is the revelation that John receives after Israel has already been a nation, after he already accepts Yahusha. And so John, as he's writing this, obviously when he's talking about mystery Babylon, he cannot be talking about the ancient Babylon because in John's time, it already passed. Like, can we just bring some practicality to the Bible, please? Revelations 18. Thank you, Sherry. Y'all read it. It literally says, so you do not partake of her sins. I don't know. Maybe you need to meditate on that. Just read that over and over for a while. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's better to be a little bit uncomfortable and use wisdom now than to be uncomfortable and troops are coming in. or to be uncomfortable and you can't find food for your children, to be uncomfortable and war is at your door, people in mass are coming up knocking on the door. Which uncomfortable would you rather deal with?
Yeah. What if Africa locked itself down?
What do you mean?
It's just a thought. Like if something's starting to pop off and then Africa locked itself. So is it better to be locked inside of Africa or locked outside of Africa?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm like, dang. It's better to look, no matter what you gotta deal with over here, it's better to be locked down in a country. In an African country.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No matter what
100%.
country, because they got coconuts, they got everything right here on this
Yeah.
little strip that we
Yeah.
looking at.
Yeah. Take some time to learn these herbs, learn these vegetables, these fruits, these trees. Yeah. That's why Africa is always going to be the last frontier. Always. It's never going to stop. The way the Most High blesses this land is mind blowing because we have driven throughout the Swahili area. What do you call it? The Swahili coast. And it's so abundant. We've seen trees that look like giant trees. And it's like this land, like people, this is why Tanzania, specifically because we lived there for a while, had a birth rate of 4 children per woman, per family. That's why the population in Africa is rising and the population in the West and Japan and China are decreasing.
Man. And they
just because the abundance, the Most High blesses this land and never forgets it. He never forgets Africa. You just walk outside and you got coconuts everywhere, food everywhere, bananas. I don't know how else to say it. You got food everywhere. And so people are like, oh my gosh, how are you going to eat in Africa? You're going to starve. Y'all following that propaganda. Y'all speaking from the white man's speaker right now. Please ask the Most High to remove the white man's lenses from your eyes. Please. For your own legacy and your own children. So you can live your dream life.
I'm gonna tell him, give me like 15 minutes.
Okay. Because yeah, y'all, I mean, you see Africa and we've showed y'all. If y'all haven't seen it, feel free to go back to all of our videos and see the abundance that is Africa. Because you don't need to have expensive food. When food grows off the ground, you could just throw a seed and the food gonna sprout up. Literally. Even in the mountains, we've been in mountain regions, same thing. The people just living off the land. Cattle everywhere. People got everything they need. In this country, it's sugarcane everywhere. That's like one of their main crops. Everywhere. You don't just see cement buildings everywhere. You actually see nature when you go out into the neighborhood. Fruit trees, bananas, oranges. For us right here, what we see, we have 2 coconut trees right there. These look like they probably got maybe 40, maybe 30 coconuts on each tree. Then we have a mango tree, 2 mango trees right here, another coconut tree. There's a bunch of banana trees in the back. And then my husband, I think he said this one is guava right here. He's a little bit better at identifying trees than me, but I think that one's guava. And so you can just see that people don't really starve in Africa. They're just fooling you because people are actually starving in America. People aren't really starving in Africa. You just don't see that. And it's evident by how many children people have. In a starving nation, you're not going to have the average number of children in a family being 4, which is how it is in Tanzania and many other African countries. But in a country that is starving and is depleted and is nutrient deficient like America, the amount of children that people are going to have is 1.5 children as it is currently, which is not enough to replicate the population.
Facts.
And so in a population that can't be replicated, now you have your robots coming through, your Alexas being built, all of your different robots, and they're kind of talking to you because there's not enough humans. This gives the government more control. That's why they want the depopulation versus if you're in a place that has a large population, they can't control that. And so they just got to let it go. And so instead, they're going to be looking at America, looking at Great Britain, looking at these different countries in Germany, looking at these countries, and controlling those areas.
And that's why they're trying to do stuff here. Like they're trying to ID people because when we was in Tanzania, there's literally people that don't have like basically social security's numbers.
Yeah. Bank. They don't have
they don't have bank accounts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's hard to track people like that.
Yeah.
Like people in the village, like man.
Untrackable.
Untrackable.
They're like not on the census.
If yeah, exactly. the census. Like I'm telling you,
They're not on it. We've seen them. We've talked to them.
it's
Can't
like
wait to go
wow.
back and visit them. For real. This is real life we're living.
So it's better to be stuck in Africa than
Ooh,
stuck outside of Africa.
absolutely.
Especially a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, five. I'm gonna keep saying it, no matter how long. But you gotta think about the future. I know we think about the future because we have children.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what's Africa gonna look like? What country is really gonna benefit our children to run their business, to do business, to you know keep them afloat, keep us afloat and everything. So I'm telling you guys, you really gotta think about the future. It's time to think like that. Although you gotta work and everything, although you gotta survive and stuff, you really still gotta think about a year. Go six. I say year by year, the next year, and see where it's going to take you.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in these times. And you want to have
And
not
speak
just
it.
one home base because in times of war, you want to be strategic. And we know our generation has never been through this, right? But just if you can pull some wisdom from the Bible and look at Abraham, and this is why it always says seek the ancient path because the answers are right there. Abraham, though he's been given a designated promised land, he's maneuvering throughout this promised land, even though sometimes he has to fight these different battles. At one point, he had to go and save Lot, but he's still maneuvering in wisdom. Isaac, same thing. Jacob, same thing. So people, it's only recent that people have stayed in a place for 50 and 60 years. In the old times, life just wasn't like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back to that ancient time. Consider the days in the past. Look back. Look back and see the practicality of the Bible and see, okay, how did these people really live? They had connections from this city to that city. Okay. They had lots and lots of cattle. They had wealth in different areas. They had gold. They had silver. They had rubies. They had handmaids. They had servants working with them. They had a network of people. So we need to think like that. If we can't think like that in modern times, then Russia and China they gonna end up owning you, and that's just what it is. It's hard to say, but it's even harder when Russia and China is at the door because they literally are at the door. America owes all of its debt to China.
People are funny.
I love that comment. Let's read it. Your children are going to be pissed when they find out you took them out of America, that horrible place. I love that Sapphire Blue. Our
Oh, okay.
12-year-old son, he actually grew up in America. And when we landed in Tanzania, we asked him and we said, what do you think of Tanzania? Would you want to go back to America? Our children were angry at us when we considered asking them if they would want to return to America.
Mm-hmm.
Angry, frustrated. They looked at us like we were insane. But that's also because the education we do in our household. Like we are very active parents and very educational based where we tell them what it is straight up.
Yeah, like
Growing
it's
up,
true. It's facts. You really got like the next generation. You got to tell them facts. You can't really hide
yeah,
nothing from them
yeah,
because
they know.
they gonna find it out anyway.
Yeah,
Like really.
it's
So
a great comment. I love that comment. It's so interesting. It's a bit ignorant, but I love that comment because it shows the ignorance of people today. We are really not educating our children and showing them the reality of things. Our children, since they have been educated and they see the reality of things and have learned experience, our son, who, when he was 5, he actually, like me, grew up in an Ashkenazi Jewish community. He was in that community for a little while. And this white boy comes to him, looks at his skin, touches his skin, and then asks him why he's so dark. Then he had another instance where he came home at 5 years old, the awareness of a 5-year-old of race at this time, a black boy, dark skin, okay? Dark skinned black boy. He comes back to me as his mom and says, Mom, why am I not white? I'm like, oh my gosh, we done failed. I failed as a parent if he's asking me this at 5 years old. I said, why is he asking me this? And he proceeds to say, why can I not be white like Flash? And I was like, I knew right then we have to get to Africa because
was that
I
the boy's
cannot
name?
rate. No, the
Oh, the
action
cartoon.
figure.
Okay. I'm like, they be naming their kids that too.
Why are you like
That's what I thought.
But oh gosh, you funny. But anyway, so the white child, yeah, he's asking me why can't he be white like Flash, the cartoon, not That wasn't the boy's name. I don't know what the boy's name was. But at that moment, I knew, I was like, I cannot raise a black man in America. I will 100% not do it. That blood is not going to be on my hands. If I believe that there's a creator, I believe there's an almighty, I believe that he's righteous and a rewarder of those that diligently seek him, then he's going to get my children's children out of Babylon forever. And that's it. Because when he asked me that, 5 years old, this is what's going through the mind. And so you can only imagine a black child growing up in America, a black man, by the way, a black boy growing up in America.
Now?
Yeah. The mindset. They graduate at 18. They subconsciously have this self-hate in their mind, subconsciously marrying people of different races. Let's talk about that. Subconsciously not loving black women, not loving black children, not being obedient as the men of the household, leaving their families, doing treachery, because this is the culture of America, which is why the Jewish people love to be behind the scenes in the hip hop rap culture. Shaking hands with Jay-Z, all those people, right? They're like, oh, great record, Sexy Red and all these people. Funded by Jacob Rothenchild and whoever Switzerland, whatever.
The evil people.
Man, like funding all of this. And then our people, we will sit and say, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to wait here forever. And it's like, really? Really? You don't have any kind of power in the Most High? When he said he came to give you authority to trample over serpents and scorpions and no power of the devil can hurt you, and yet you have no type of authority to be able to get a plane ticket? I'm not even talking about raising the dead right now. So how are we even going to be able to raise the dead if we don't believe we can get a plane ticket? This is the mindset of people who are whitewashed in white supremacy. This is self-hatred 101. And I'm happy to dismantle this self-hatred because I absolutely cannot stand it. Exactly. I can't stand it. I hate it.
Yeah. And look, the Most High it's taking us back to the ancient ways, like literally. And we see it. Like we was talking the other day, and I'm like, man, it's so great to just be like our family just be together.
Yeah.
I know this homeschool, like everything that we work from home, homeschooling.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Traveling,
but that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you think about Jacob and his 12 sons, right? That's what it was.
And their wives.
And their wives, they the children, all of it. No matter how old they were, Most High is bringing it that time back.
Man, it is such a blessing, that right there. And it makes the Bible even more real in Proverbs, where it says, children are an inheritance of Yahuwah, the fruit of the womb, his reward. Because when you're out in these nations, when you're out dealing with things, if you have a tribe of that many people, and then your children each get married and they're having these strategic alliances, that makes you very unstoppable in the last days.
Yeah.
That makes you're not alone. You got a whole tribe right there.
For real. For real.
But America would have you think, oh, don't have too many kids. You walk down the street in America with even 3 children, they're like, when are you going to stop having children? Do you need birth control? Absolutely not. I intend on being healthy and actually living, hopefully, my full life without, Planned Parenthood destroying my legacy. But these are the things that happen to our people in America. And they're trying to put it piece by piece in Africa, but it's not going to cement the way it does in America, because the Africans in America do not have culture. But here you have culture that reminds people back in the village. Oh,
exactly. Like that. This culture here is it's the foundation of, I mean, they do a lot of stuff, but when a Christian really believes here, their belief is way more than
right. That's good.
When you think about American Christian, or Christian in America, Christian in Africa, it's different. I'm telling you, it's different.
Way different.
You can really feel it. Like, it's different.
Way different.
So they really believe, and then you try to preach them the truth and stuff. It's instant.
Way different. They have actual power is the difference, because Eurocentric Christianity, there's no power in it. There's no power. So you will find the best Christians, best believers on the face of the earth right in Africa. By the way, just do a quick study and see where all the atheists in the world are. They're all in Europe and America, if that doesn't tell you anything. But in Africa, you find the most powerful, strong worshipers in the spirit, and we've met them. Strong in the spirit. This is how we got so strong in the spirit, being and living in Africa.
Yeah.
Because the spirit world is real.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a practice. It's like a playground for people who have power. Like, let power meet power. In Africa, that's what it is. In America, that's what it is. But people in America have been so propagandified, if that's a word. I just made up a new word. They've been shoved down their throats with all this propaganda, Hogwarts, all these things. So you think magic's not real. You think, the boogeyman's not, you think all these things aren't real. But when these things start coming up in your face, you're going to be scared out of your mind, because you don't have any spiritual awareness, authority, or discernment. You're too caught up with
Hallelujah.
what day is the Sabbath day, fighting between Tuesday and Saturday. And yet, according to Luke 10 and Luke 11, where it says that you need to have power to tread over serpents, scorpions, and devils, that you in Joel 2 would receive dreams and visions, you're to a point where you're just looking at the outer appearances. You need to graduate from milk to meat.
Yeah, it's time to chew that meat up. Like, really, that meat got chewed up.
If we're supposed to judge the messengers, how can you not discern between yourselves what's right and wrong? Simple stuff will have American people baffled. You come to Africa, you don't have this confusion that I don't know what it is in America. It's like a stupor that's over the land,
Mm-hmm.
because you just don't see these different types of issues, this strife and this just foolishness. Americans are very prideful and foolish people. Maybe that's what it is. There's probably a verse in Proverbs that talks about it. But it's like when you're foolish and then you keep being foolish, that iniquity and that sin adds on, so that you can't seek out wisdom. So that even if wisdom comes to you, you repel it because you're too far into foolishness and this stupor that America has given you. And so in Africa, you find people that are very strong in the spirit. Not only are they strong in the spirit, but they're stronger than American people. People in the mountains that build entire cabins, build entire houses.
Yeah, remember that house
Scrappy
that
people.
they built before us?
Which one?
Right, when we
Oh,
was growing
yeah, that
up,
was so cool.
they started
Yeah, that
building
was
it
cool.
with their sticks and mud.
Yeah,
The next couple weeks, it was done.
yeah.
I was like, man,
Can an American do that?
I hope so.
The average American can't do that. The average American will not be able to survive these times. And so you better get where people know how to survive, so you can humble yourself and learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were doing, building in the mountains, learn and see how they do stuff. Because in America, you just don't get that. People tell you in America that has to be complex, and you have to have the white man to show you how it's done, and then you have to go to this certification and get this, and then you do that. And in Africa, they're like, yeah, but we're just building and we're already done. By the time you try to search for whatever certification you need, the house is already built. Like, these are the end time skill sets that you're going to need to have. Because in times of war, it's no joke. And we haven't even been through a war. We're just reading scriptures and getting the insights the Most High is downloading into us. You're going to have to know how to travel and have your passport. You're going to have to know how to make a snap decision, right or left. Which one are we doing? What's the Most High telling you to do? Snap decision. Not, okay, let me wait for 35 years and then I'll come back and let you know what the Most High said. You need to hear the Most High in your ear today. What's he saying to you right now today? That's where we're at in the world. That's where it's at in times of war, because that snap decision could be life or death.
Yeah.
For many, it already has been with COVID. People made the snap decision to get vaccinated and then had a stroke. May they rest in peace. Or the snap decision to get vaccinated, maybe they didn't immediately pass away, but then later down the line, we had all those videos coming out of them passing out. The wrong snap decision can cost you your life.
Mm-hmm.
Enter you into judgment, into the hands of the Most High. But then people say, oh, it's fear mongering. No, it's wisdom mongering. That's
Yeah.
it. We
It's
don't know how else
simple.
to say it. That's it. It's very
It's
simple.
simple. And then like times are speeding up rapidly. Like all this stuff is happening week by week. It's getting worse and worse.
That headline's really crazy.
Yeah. Like week by week it's getting worse. Like for real. So next week I'm pretty sure it's gonna something else is gonna happen.
Wars and rumors of wars,
And
so
then it's
shall it
gonna
be.
be day by day. Then it might be hour by hour. So you really gotta start preparing.
And stop trusting in Uncle Sam so much. Let him go. Let America go. The population's declining. Let it go. The Most High has already pronounced judgment. It's already taking place in front of your eyes. What do you call it when a nation cannot repopulate? That's the Most High showing you his hand has been brought off of it. It's going to be obsolete. What do you call it when you see a nation that can't repopulate itself? That's not a blessing of the Most High, is it? That's not listed in the blessings of Deuteronomy 28, where he says, I'm going to bless the fruit of the womb. He's doing the opposite. Our people are like, let's just stay and see how far it gets with the judgment. Why? When it says, flee from the land of the north, flee from Babylon, be not partaker of her sins, so that you don't have the judgment coming to you. This is just phase one of the judgment. We ain't even entered the full judgment yet. This is just phase one. These signs showing you the Most High slowly saying, "Hello, I'm. People aren't going to be able to repopulate. I'm pronouncing my judgment over this nation." It's clear as anything because it's on the news. They're telling you people can't repopulate and they're about to replace you with the robots. Then what? You got your robot neighbor. Why? Why do you want that? This is the only nation that's going to be like that. Africa's nothing like that. Exquisite Caribbean Queen said, most people can't see from the Western societies I'm here, but I've let it all go because the birth rate is way down, while in Africa, the average family is having 4 to 6 children. Facts. We have 5 children. Facts. The Most High is showing who he's with and showing who he's not with. But because America has showed us and told us children aren't valuable, now we as Black Americans have the mindset of, oh, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of children. That doesn't mean anything, any blessings of the Most High. This is how treacherous and crazy the mindset of Americans are. Because when you come to Africa, it's the exact opposite. People can see, like, even when we were in Tanzania leaving through immigration, they said, how many children do you have? I say 5, and they're like, wow, you're so blessed. I'm like, thank you. Like, people know that's a blessing. People know the hand of the Most High is upon you because of certain things, and that's one of them in African culture. But America has you like, no, it's bad to have children. Oh my gosh, there's such a hassle. La 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 la. They're not a hassle. It's your inheritance. Now you're complaining about your inheritance, but then you're praying and you want the Most High to bless you more, but you keep complaining. And he's like, well, I can't bless you because you already complained all that time. And so, how about you repent and see the blessings I already blessed you with, and then I'll consider giving you some more blessings once you have some gratitude. Exquisite Caribbean Queen said, both my Black Caribbean grandparents had 11 children each. The average family 3 to 4. Yes, such a blessing. That's glorious. Righteous Thing says, my lady won't listen to me, y'all. Pray. Pray without ceasing. Speak the word. And when I say pray, I don't mean passive, weak prayers. Pray warfare prayers. And it'll come to pass. Because sometimes you have those dynamics in a marriage, but you can change everything just by speaking the word.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking the word. And then she's going to start to understand and say, oh, okay. She's going to start to see, oh, okay, this makes sense now. And then you'll look back like, oh, Most High, is that easy? Okay, all you want me to do is do some warfare? Get in Proverbs, align it with the Most High's will, and you'll become unstoppable. And before you know it, she'll be like, babe, it's time to go. And you'll be like, oh, okay.
She'll be more excited than you.
Right. For real. She'll be telling you, let's go. You'll be like, oh, hallelujah. Warfare prayers, book of Proverbs, book of Psalms, and whatever the Most High has in your heart to cry out. Don't draw back. Whatever is on your heart to where you want to save your family and have your family in order, go ahead and cry out to the Most High by the blood of Yahusha, and he answers. He answers quicker in these times. It's a beautiful thing. We've witnessed it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, y'all, I think that's it for this video. That's not
Okay?
nice.
You okay?
You want a rice cake?
Sure. You're good. You seem look like she has some yogurt.
Do you want me to go get Jess? I'll go get him, Joe.
All right. Yeah, guys, I think that's it for us. We gotta go get some food and stuff like that. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all the likes and the comments. Um, we love you all, but most importantly, the Most High loves you all. So just make sure you love yourself. Make sure you love your neighbor like yourself, because that's very important in these last days. You have to walk this path of righteousness correctly, so the other nations, so the wicked people will see his light shine in you. So
And he will be glorified.
I'm telling you guys, you just gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's very simple. It's very simple. But we just make it more confusing than what it is. So just be safe. Make sure you got your passport. Please make sure you got your passport.
Get in the word.
Get in the word, stay in the word, let the word live in you. Because everything's written and it's coming to pass. Everything's written. It is written. So shalom, shalom. You have to say anything?
Shalom, shalom. That's it. Share the video, like the video,
Yeah.
subscribe, hit the bell notification, be blessed, and get in the word, y'all. For real, get in the word.
Yes. So shalom,
You want
guys.
to take my hairpin out? Shalom, shalom. Girl, don't rip my hair out. What you do? Here, take.